I'll read it to you. Editor's note. We received this from a friend who wishes to remain anonymous but has extensive knowledge of the situation in the UK. This is from Men of the West. The last official execution in the United Kingdom took place in 1964, but today a man was arrested and sentenced to death in England. His crime, according to the Crown Court at Leeds, and we're not allowed to tell you, is how his dishonour, Judge Marson, managed to quash all UK reporting on what is very likely to amount to judicial murder. And this is the report. Notice to the press. Reporting restriction. Postponement order. In the court at Leeds, Regina, that's the Queen, versus Stephen Christopher Yaxley Lennon, that's Tommy Robinson. Case number S Sierra 201-80448. His Honour Judge Marson QC made the following order under section 4 bracket 2 close brackets of the Contempt of Court Act 1981 on the 25th of May 2018. Since it appears to be necessary for avoiding a substantial risk of prejudice to the administration of justice in these proceedings, the publication of any report of these proceedings shall be postponed until after the conclusion of trial T Tango 20177-360 and T Tango 20187-130 Akhtar and others. That's a paedophile gang, a Pakistani paedophile gang on trial for raping, grooming and soliciting young girls and boys in a paedophile ring. Signed, Mr. N.R. Bray, date of signature 25th of the 5th 18, an officer of the Crown Court. The man in question, Stephen Yaxley Lennon, popularly known as Tommy Robinson. Robinson is a well-known campaigner against Islamic extremism in general and Muslim rape gangs in particular. He was arrested today while reporting on the latest trial involving a Muslim rape gang in Leeds. Because of previous suspended sentence, he received also for reporting on Islamic rapists. The presiding judge was able to send him directly to jail. Since the floodgates were opened in 2012 with the exposure of the systematic rape, drugging, torture and murder of little girls in Rotherham, which Tommy broke, by Pakistani Muslims, similar cases have come to light in Rochdale, Oxford, Telford, Derby, Newcastle and many other towns and cities across England. In every single case, the perpetrators was largely or exclusively Muslim of Pakistani descent. In every single case it emerged that police, social workers and often the press knew about the rapes, sometimes for decades prior, but did nothing to save the girls. They had a duty to protect. In many cases they did worse than nothing. Police actively set out to arrest English people who complained too loudly about the Muslim paedophiles preying on their children. Tommy Robinson is one of those Englishmen whose crime is to be too outspoken for the liking of British authorities, who would prefer to allow the industrial scale rape of helpless little English girls to carry on in peace for the sake of diversity, as Labour Member of Parliament Naz Shah agreed. The UK's rotten, cowardly judiciary has happily played along throughout the process, typically handing down slap-on-the-wrist sentences to Muslim paedophiles. Many of the Rotherham child molesters are already free men, while imprisoning men like Tommy Robinson. Why does this amount to a death sentence? Tommy Robinson is a marked man. He has repeatedly been assaulted in broad daylight while smirking police refused to arrest his assailants. He has been the victim of death threats for years, while the British police, so quick to haul away YouTube jokers and Twitter hate speech criminals, conspicuously failed to arrest a single person who makes these death threats. The treatment is designed to send a message: it's open season on Tommy Robinson. Every Englishman with a functioning set of testicles like Tommy Robinson, courtesy of British pedo-friendly criminal justice system. Judge Marson enjoying a laugh with the police. Here it is. Judge Marson is the gentleman on the right of the picture. Can you see that? That's while Robinson was being arrested. And those police officers are the ones he complained to. This crap's got to stop. And this is why Joe represents a death sentence. Despite being only 5% of Britain's population, Muslims comprise 15% of all the inmates. The most violent and aggressive offenders are disproportionately followers of the religion of peace. Just 2 years ago, a man called Kevin Crehan was jailed for leaving a bacon sandwich outside a mosque. He soon turned up dead in his cell. After 18 months of almost complete media blackout on exactly how and why Mr. Crehan died in prison, while tensions and protests mounted over the lack of any official explanation, the British authorities belatedly claimed this week that he died of a drug overdose in prison. How's that possible? And if you believe that, you probably believe that child chasing pretend Prophet Muhammad flew into space on a magic horse. Okay, I'll end this and I'll upload it. Stay true.